We are the breakers of curses, the casters of glorious conspiracies, and the creators of the new world. I, Cassandra Faye Floyd, am a divine instrument of my mother's divine will. As such, I am protected and guided by the sacred blood and water of my mother's body that anointed my entry into this life. I am divine because she is divine. Mommy and I are one. I call on all of our mothers to this moment. I call on they who govern everything, all time and every space in between. She with 10,000 names. Today it is Oya, Yemaya, Oshun, Iami Ajay, the divine architects of existence, usheresses of the new age. Mommy and I are one. I call upon all the divine ancestors and the Ashe of every mother on earth to break every curse ever cast upon the mother and her children. In all timelines and every dimension, Mommy and I are one. We, the mother's divine children, we the mother's divine children, conspire together today to forever bind those who have or would harm you, Great Mother. Mommy and I are one. We conspire together today to destroy everything and everyone in every timeline and dimension that is called suffering and despair. Mommy and I are one. Today, we embody the sacred blood, we embody the sacred and divine power of our mother. What in the hell? Ain't that about a bitch? Not putting this bitch up all night.
That's just different.
It looks like my thing is dying. I might be out of gas. And I've charged it all night. Yeah. Damn. We conspire together to fuck it. We conspire together today to destroy everything and everyone in every timeline and dimension that is called suffering and despair. Mommy and I are one. Today, we embody the sacred and divine power of our mothers. Today, we the tree, we the weavers, rewrite all time. Today, we the tree, we the weavers, rewrite the book of life. Today, we, our mother's children, call the winds of change. We conjure the primordial dark. We summon the sacred serpent deep from within the earth. We subdue the rogue sun. We control the light. We heal the heart. We embolden the fearful. We instill courageous action. Today, we are staging a global evolution, as is our mother's divine will. Mommy and I are one. We, the architects of the new age, now create the new institutions, the new traditions, the new culture, the new ways of being. We ecstatically welcome the radical destruction of all institutions of hate and harm erected by the godheads of war. Mommy and I are one. We have the power. We have the voice. We are the portals of change. Now we employ our sacred breath, and we give life and sacred blood to this conspiracy. Mommy and I are one. We command, come the wind, come the storm, come the lightning, capture and judge all godheads of war and all betrayers of the mother's divine will. Bring their confusion and war to an immediate end. Scatter them to oblivion, never to be resurrected.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
What up? Bullshit. It's always the police. It's always the fucking police on some dumb shit. What difference does it make if the motherfucking place is closed, stupid bitch? And of course they'd have to send a Negro over here to do it.
Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Some good word.
Oh, thank
What do you speak?
I'm a minister.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. For real?
Not like a Christian minister.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm an ordained minister, but I'm not a Christian minister.
Okay, what kind are you?
I run a goddess center temple here in LA.
So what do you can't label that? Can you like Wicca or no?
No, not even close. It's straight up rebellion.
Really?
Rebel shit. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Rebel shit.
Hey, respect.
Where you from? You look Hawaiian.
I'm from San Diego. I'm black and Mexican.
Oh, okay.
Islander vibe.
Yeah.
So I got the skin, you know.
What's your name?
Johnny B.
I was moving around, you guys. Sorry about that. I told y'all the so I'm gonna start from the beginning. Makers of curses, the casters of glorious conspiracies, and the creators of the new world. I, Cassandra Faye Floyd, am a divine instrument of others' divine will. As such, I am protected and guided by the sacred blood and water of my mother, Jacqueline Jeanette Cook's body, that anointed my entry into this life. I am divine because she is divine. Mommy and I are one. I call all of our mothers to this moment. I call on they who govern everything. I call on they who govern everything, all time and every space in between. She with 10,000 names. Today it is Oya, Yemaya, Oshun, Iami Aj Divine, the divine architects of existence, usheresses of the new age. Mommy and I are one. I call upon all the divine ancestors and the Ashe of every mother on earth to break every curse ever cast upon the mother and her children, in all timelines and in every dimension. Mommy and I are one. We, the mother's divine children, conspire together today to forever bind those who have or would cause harm to you, great mother. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. We conspire together today to destroy everyone and everything in every timeline and dimension that has caused suffering and despair. Mommy and I are one. Today, we embody the sacred and divine power of our mothers. Today, we the tree, we the weavers, rewrite all time. Today, we the tree, we the weavers, rewrite the book of life. Today, we, our mother's children, call the winds of change. We conjure the primordial dark. We summon the sacred serpent deep from within the earth. We subdue the rogue sun. We control the light. We heal the harmed. We embolden the fearful. We instill courageous action. Today, we are staging a global evolution as is our mother's divine will. Mommy and I are one. We, the architects of the new age, now create the new institutions, the new traditions, the new cultures, the new ways of being. We ecstatically welcome the radical destruction of all institutions of hate and harm erected by the godheads of war. Mommy and I are one. We have the power. We have the voice. We are the portals of change. Now we employ our sacred breath and we give life and sacred blood to this conspiracy. Mommy and I are one. We command, come the wind, come the storm, come the lightning, capture and judge all godheads of war and all betrayers of the mother's divine will. Bring their confusion and war to an immediate end. Scatter them to oblivion, never to be resurrected. We are the fates. We are the furies. We are the Iami Ajay. We are the disseminators of divine time, divine retribution, divine rectification, and evolutionary justice. Mommy and I are one. We are the restorers of heaven on earth under the mother's divine reign. We wake the sacred serpent deep from within the earth to assist us in this sacred assignment. Mommy and I are one. Love unlimited is our birthright. Harmony is our birthright. Ecstasy is our birthright. Pleasure is our birthright. Freedom is our birthright. This is her divine will. We are the divine executors of her will. We speak her will into the now to reverberate throughout all time, all space, and all dimensions. It is certainly as we say, forever and ever. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. Mommy and I are one. So I came out here today and I felt like a lot of people feel frustrated by what's happening in the world, annoyed, terrified, and demoralized by what they continue to see on social media, by what they continue to see on the news that appears to them to be hopeless, that appears to them to present no way forward and no way out. And so I just felt like I could not be in my house anymore talking to you online when there is a whole city where the despair is palpable, where the urgency, here, let me turn my screen around. The urgency is palpable. The despair is palpable. And even though we try to escape with luxuries and distractions and movies and alcohol, these are the distractions, because no one with their demonstrations, no one with their protests, no one with their voting, no one with the believing in the system that continues to rape and rob them is offering anything that presents as a true solution to what is plaguing the whole planet right now, centered in the aggressions of the United States of America. The world's suffering is centered in the aggressions of the United States of America. And until we reckon with that, we will never come to the right conclusions about the way forward. The way forward is ourselves.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for stopping in.
Can I follow you on Facebook?
Absolutely.
Give me
a second, you guys.
I didn't know about my Facebook.
I'll type it in for you.
It's taking forever. It's Android.
It's okay.
It's Android.
Mine too.
Okay.
I get it. I get it. Everything takes forever. And especially since the police acting like they want to shut everybody's electronics down these days.
Fuck them, right?
Huh?
Fuck them, right?
Straight up. Let's see. Oh, what?
Oh, sorry about that. I'll follow you right now.
Okay. Yeah, send me an inbox.
You wanna follow me?
I'm live.
Oh,
So send me an inbox, and as soon as I get off this live, I will follow you back, and then send you the rest of my details. Because we do local events and ceremonies. We got some things actually coming up, and we also do open mic stuff. Open mic. I see you a musician.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was good to meet you.
Can I say all your fans? Hey, peace and love. You already know what's good.
Take care. Have a good one. So anyway, I'm not gonna be out here long since my electronics stopped on me. I had it charged all night, so I don't know why it died. But anyway, the thing is we're gonna have to be out here in public spaces, making people either uncomfortable or stopping them in their tracks, like this young man. You feel me? But then y'all might not be able to hear me after this because somebody just sit up next to me with music. But yeah, man, we're gonna have to be out here. On one corner down here is the preachers. Is You know what I'm saying? Talking that same old bullshit about how Jesus saves. Talking that same old bullshit about the only salvation is Jesus. Talking that same old bullshit about how Jesus loved them and shit as the world is falling the fuck apart around them. And it's the only thing that's been offered as a solution. So like, damn, maybe I do need to do this Jesus shit. On the other end, you got the goddamn Hebrew Israelites talking about whatever the fuck they be talking about. You got the Hebrew Israelites down here, and it is like everybody is grabbing for people's despair. That's what it is. Everybody is vying for people's despair while offering nothing in return. While offering nothing in return. No solutions. What is the solution? What is the food? We got to start presenting this shit. And y'all gonna have to start sharing this shit far and wide. It can't just be us up in the clique. You have to start sharing this shit far and wide. Sharing it on all of your social media. Making clips of it to share on your TikTok. But the solution, baby, the food of the future, the true food is rebellion. It's rebellion. It's rebellion. It's rebellion. It's rebellion. It's rebellion. Yes. It's sister food, it's side food, it's revolution, it's rebellion, it's redemption, it's revenge. This might be our new religion, y'all. Our new religion might be rebellion. Our new religion might be revenge. You feel me? There is no other solution. The more you lay, the more you keep quiet, the more you stay in your little small space. I've been telling y'all this for 3 weeks now. Whether it's what's his name from Mel Gibson from Braveheart, whether it's, I don't care who it is, every one of your heroes, what you love about your heroes is their rebellion. Every hero. What you see in them is not a savior, which is what Jesus is trying to teach you. What that shit is produced to elicit in you is that you need a savior. You need to be rescued. You need somebody to come scoop you the fuck up. You need some aliens to come and grab your ass up off the planet to rescue them from the planet. That's not it. The hidden message in the Messiah, the hidden message in the superhero, the hidden message also in the villain is that the reason you also love the villain, bitch, is because you seek rebellion, you seek revenge, you seek justice, you want revolution. This is what your spirit is crying for. This is what your soul is starving for. We have not seen open rebellion in an age because now we can act all nostalgic about it. Remember what they did back in the 50s? Remember what they did back in the 60s? It sure was cool what they did. That's why all of you have said, I was born in the wrong generation. I should have been born where I was an adult back in the 50s. I was born in the wrong generations. I should have been born where I could be a Black Panther in the 1960s. I could be in the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s. I could be a part of the peace movement. I could be a part of the anti-war movement. I should have been wrong. I should have been born in a different time. No, that is the role of nostalgia as a psyop created by your motherfucking government. Nostalgia is not what saves. You long for what you see as a period that got shit done. That's what you long for. And they can pacify you with nostalgia. They can pacify you with songs of the good old days, hippie shit of the good old days, the constant regurgitation of the fucking fashion of the good old days to pacify you to sleep, to pacify you into a coma, to make sure that the only conclusion that you can come to is to get your angst off is to go participate in a goddamn protest. To get your angst off is to go participate in a goddamn demonstration. And every time you participate in that demonstration, every time you participate in that protest, it wins you nothing but exhaustion. It wins you disappointment. It betrays you every time. Every time millions of people take to the street and nothing happens in their favor. The pendulum does not swing in their favor. But instead, with every rebellion, their aggressions against you deepen. Their aggressions against you deepen. Their assaults on your fucking life deepen. They deepen because they know with every demonstration, with every protest, you are not going to do a fucking thing. There's not going to be any action behind that shit you get out in the street and do. They know every time you stage a protest, every time you stage a demonstration, they wait. They say, okay, is there anybody gonna set this shit off in there? When they see you ain't setting shit off, guess what? They clamp down. Their clamp down gets harder. Their clamp down gets stronger. Their clamp down gets deeper. disappointed, and you get more and more demoralized because millions of people took to the street. And why did it not yield anything? And why has the government not changed? Because you have not demanded that change. And I mean, you have not demanded that change. I mean that. And so we gonna have to be out here making motherfuckers uncomfortable. I'm talking about individuals. I am talking about those who are lingering in the road, looking for an outlet for their despair, looking for an outlet for their sadness, looking for an outlet, a way to explain their misery no matter what they do. No matter what their fix is, no matter what their shit is, they are pacifying themselves because they are demoralized. And that baby giant that lives in each and every one of us, that hero that lives in each and every goddamn one of us, is begging to be let loose on this bitch. Begging to be freed, to spill out on this motherfucker and right every wrong. Right every wrong. Right every wrong. Rebellion is what saves, bitch. Rebellion is what saves. Redemption is what saves. Revenge is what rights all wrongs. It is what creates the playing field that is level, that is equal. There is no way around it. Every time you watch some movie and you cheering for the hero that beat the bad guy, and your ass will go to sleep instead of plotting and scheming about how you too will be the hero of the day, not to save anyone else but yourself, and the unleashing of every hero on earth. Every face you see, every person you see, everyone you see, even if they homeless, even if they have nothing, is a goddamn hero of their own, waiting to be unleashed, uncaged, spilled out over the whole goddamn world. And the narrative and your programming and your TV and your music has worked strategically to pacify you and nullify you and make sure that that giant held hostage in your spirit, that giant held hostage in your goddamn chest, is never unleashed, is forever caged and forever desperate and forever looking for a way out. Your giant is looking for a way to show up for you. Everything wrong and everybody offering these bullshitting ass goddamn escape routes. Jesus is an escape route, bitch. Jesus ain't no different than the goddamn aliens y'all be talking about coming rescue you on a goddamn spaceship. Jesus is the escape route. Yahweh is the escape route. Allah is the escape route. All this shit is a way to pacify the giant in you. To pacify the giant looking for revenge, looking to rebel, looking to live their biggest self, and you as the cage. You have been made into a cage, bro. Your flesh has been made into a cage. Your house has been made into a cage. Your diet has been made into a cage. Oh, yes, it has. Your diet is your cage. Everything, your friends, your sex life, the state is in your every space you in. The state is in your shit. The state is in your shit. The government is in your shit. The police is in your shit. The police is in your shit. The patriarch rules your world by sitting comfortably right here in your head. He's like, this nice right here. I ain't even got to do shit. I can sit right here, and guess what? This bitch is gonna eat for me. This bitch is gonna cook for me. This bitch gonna do everything I need, and I don't have to work. Who that sound like? Who that sound like? The patriarch sitting in your head, resting comfortably off the products of your labor. Who that sound like? Do that sound like Jeff Bezos? To you? Ain't gotta do shit. Ain't gotta bust a grape. Ain't gotta do a day at work. Ain't got to chisel a rock. Ain't gotta paint a wall. Ain't gotta do shit. And y'all just gonna show up to support his life with your labor. You gonna show up to support his life with your labor, with your despair, with your blood, sweat, and tears, with your getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you don't want to. You understand? Sound like Elon Musk to me, don't it? Sound like Donald J. Trump, don't it? The motherfucker is dumb as a box of rocks and can just coast because you show up to allow him to coast. This is the patriarch living in your skull, bitch. This is the patriarch living in your skull. For every billionaire on earth right now, He is a representative of the patriarch living in your skull rent-free and dominate, not only living in your skull rent-free, bitch, he is Big Brother. Right here, dominate the space that would be your third eye. That's the reason that they say Big Brother got an all-watchful eye and ever presence in every space. That bitch watching you while you in the shower, watching you while you take a dump. Why? Because you have allowed the patriarch to take up the space that would be your God self unleashed on the whole earth. That's what you've done. And every billionaire on earth is a representation of the millions of you who have allowed the patriarch to take up space in your head rent-free, to literally benefit and get fat off your labor, off your suffering, off your blood, off your sweat, off your tears, to take possession of your children. And you facilitate that possession. You facilitate the possession of the fucking patriarch living in your skull, and you reproduce that patriarch. You let that patriarch give birth in your baby's brain. That's what you do. That's what you do. You let that motherfucker take up generations and generations and generations of space with your complicity, with your worship of a goddamn patriarch. And I don't give a fuck what his name is. Yahweh, Jehovah, Yeshua, fucking Allah. I don't give a goddamn Krishna, Shiva, whatever the fuck his name, Buddha, whatever the fuck it is. Satan, the devil, I don't give a fuck who it is. Any patriarch that you bow down to, that you give homage to, that you pray to, is a patriarch that you've kept alive in the spirit of your children, ensuring that they too will suffer like you, ensuring that they too will never be able to get ahead, will never be able to dig themselves up out of this fucking quagmire, that they will never be able to see themselves as the true giant that they are. And I'm telling you earlier about goddamn David and Goliath and how this shit was a psyop. The story of David and Goliath was a motherfucking psyop. Committed by that person, that group who always puts themselves forward as the dual personification. Always the victim and the victor. Always the victim and the victor, all the while they are the true villain. With these two faces to distract you. Always the victim and always, so every outlandish, gruesome, diabolical fucking crime they commit is forever absolved. This is in every religion. It's not just Christianity. It's not just Judaism. It's not just Islam. It is every last one of these traditions playing in your face. This is still the triple-faced great patriarch who has disappeared your mother. It is Zeus and Poseidon and Hades. And Hades is the bad guy in the middle who always will go down as the bad guy. I'll take the hit for the crew because our ambitions are the same. I'll take the hit for the crew because our objectives are the same. I'll take the hit for the crew. I'll be the bad guy this go around because our goals will always be met. But we have to put up a fight. We have to play fight. We have to punk fight, so that they never get hip to the game, that we are starving and we cannot survive without them. They tell it to you to your face. Remember I was telling y'all about that damn new adaptation of this story of Zeus and Mount Olympus, starring Gary Goldblum, what's his name? Jeff Goldblum. And how in my feelings was because Jeff Goldblum plays Zeus in this bitch. And it was so overt. It wasn't even subtle what they were saying. Because we've never heard this version of the story. But in this version of the story, Zeus is fearful of a prophecy that he hears. That at some point, the end will come for the Olympians. But ain't the Olympians immortals? Ain't they supposed to live forever? Isn't that their story? Right? And so why he's scared? Even his homies, his brothers, his wife, everybody saying, bitch, why you scared? We immortals. And you know what he tells them? You know what he tells them? He said, y'all got short-term memory. He said, our father too thought he was immortal until we turned on him. He says it in the movie. But who is his father? It's Kronos. Who is Kronos? Great-grandmother Crone. He says it in the movie. He said, y'all up in here coasting and peaceful and shit. I'm seeing the signs of what is inevitable. The prophecy says, our jig is up. our time is over, and y'all sitting up here coasting like this shit is forever, but y'all conveniently forgot that the same thing this prophecy said about us is the same thing the prophecy said about our father. And we band together, and we overthrew him, and we subdued him, and we buried him forever. Isn't that what he said? Who was he talking about, though? He was talking about his mother. He was talking about the divine shade. He was talking about great-grandmother Crown. He says it in the movie. And so the whole time, everybody's treating him like he's going crazy. And he's got these little, what you call them? Aquariuses. He's got these little tennis boys. He got these little tennis boys running around Mount Olympus, pretending to be Ganymede or Aquarius. And all they do is day and night, go to the sacred fountain and scoop the water from the sacred fountain and bring it to the gods. Scoop the water from the sacred fountain and give it to the gods. Because he's the water bearer. These babies are the water bearer. All these kids that are oppressed in the Mount Olympus Bazoos are the water bearers. So that's why they running to and fro to grab this water to make sure that the gods always have water. Not wine, not ambrosia, not the elixir of life, water. And it's not until you get towards the end when he sees the glitch in the water, because the water is this fountain that goes around and around like the shape of an O. And he sees a glitch in the water. The water has not been glitched, has not moved differently in a million years or whatever. And all of a sudden, he sees a moment where the water stops. And there's a glitch in the water, and he panics. Because he was like, I know I'm not crazy. I know what I am witnessing. Does this sound like your oligarchs? Does this sound like your billionaires? They know, they see, but you cannot. You're still the sleeping giant that is clueless. And so Eurydice and her husband go into the underworld because Hades is in the underworld with Persephone, and they are stressing too. They're like, this shit over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And what happens? They get to Hades, Eurydice they get to Hades and discover a secret that all of the gods have been keeping. And what is the secret? That they created the story of eternal damnation. Do you hear me? This is in the movie. This ain't my opinion. I'm telling you, it ain't even no shit I'm interpreting for you. It's in the movie. The humans who look forward to the afterlife, they're all so happy. They put the coins on the people's eyes so that their people, their recently departed, can pay the ferryman to get into Hades, right? And the whole process is so glorious. And they write songs about the afterlife. And they look forward to the afterlife because they have lived well. And the afterlife promises them that if they live well and do the right thing, that they will go to this magical, wonderful afterlife. Do you understand? And guess what happened? Guess what happened? Eurydice gets there because her husband, punk ass motherfucker that he was, took her coins from her eyes, but not knowing that he actually saved her life. He saved her soul by removing her coins so that she couldn't go into the next life. She got stuck in the in-between world. And that was the thing that saved her, because she begins to do an investigation about what happens to the people who can't go into the great afterlife. And when she finds out that there's this place where the people are supposedly, they look still. They just look stuck in purgatory, stuck in limbo. Bitch, fuck you. Get off my shit, you hoe ass bitch. Fuck. And somebody block them because I can't block them on my shit while I'm on the live. Oh, I got it. Hoe ass motherfucker. So anyway, when they get down there and they recognize that there's a secret that even they in the underworld are keeping about what happens to those that cannot transition, quote, peacefully into the great after, until the great beyond, that don't nobody know what's there, not even in the underworld, because they can't see it. And she finds this place. And then she discovers, guess what she discovers? She discovers that all the people who, quote, go pay the ferryman to go into the good afterlife, Where they go is their soul is condensed. Their soul is condensed and transformed into, because your soul is immortal. So this immortality of your soul that's supposed to go and live forever after you transition, you go from one plane to the next. To guarantee that your soul goes on forever, what she discovers is that the so-called gods had discovered a way to condense the immortality of the human soul and change it into water that they could consume and would become immortal. That they were not immortal, that they were mortals who gained immortality by consuming your condensed soul, by betraying you, telling you stories of an afterlife that were not real, to get you enthusiastically excited about going to the afterlife, while at the same time telling you stories about the afterlife that keep you compliant, that keep you from rebelling. You tell these good stories about being good and being moral and following the law and doing the right thing and never bucking the system and being normal and never coloring outside the lines. You get this story that keeps you in your life, in your physical life, keeps you from questioning, keeps you from rebelling, keeps you from cracking this shit open. Then, after a whole life of complying, after a whole life of being normal, after a whole life of doing the right thing and always obeying your master and always obeying your parents and never questioning the system and always doing the right thing and always dressing accordingly and always living according to your customs and always forcing your women to comply and always doing these things, you live right. And then you go into what you see as the bright light at the end of the tunnel. Little do you know that the bright light at the end of the tunnel is your reincarnation into another mother you have chosen. Just like that. There is no heaven. There is no white sky thing outside of what you can see with your eyes. The great black primordial abyss that goes on and on and on forever and ever. That is what you can see with your eyes, that you are told by these same traditions to not trust, to not rely on your eyes, to not rely on your own understanding and your own intellect, because it will always betray you. To rely not on your heart and your own understanding, because it will always betray you. To not be concerned with the things of this earth, because your flesh too will betray you. Meanwhile, they're telling you that the life your mother gave to you, the life your mother bled on, the life your mother baptized you in, is not reliable, but to rely instead on all those things you cannot see. To trust those things you cannot see. To trust those things that have never presented any evidence of their realness. Meanwhile, your ass is being bled dry spiritually. You are being bled dry emotionally. You are being bled dry because you feel like you are an ant in a world that you cannot change. That you are a grain of sand in a world you cannot change. Meanwhile, they're pacifying the giant within you. Meanwhile, just like they keep telling you over and over and over and over in your face, they literally are so audacious they can play in your face because they know you still ain't gonna do shit. So they can tell you in a goddamn movie where y'all all swooning, because I was too, because I love me some Jeff Goldblum. You can be swooning the whole thing about Jeff Goldblum, and he's saying in your motherfucking face that the gods that we have created are not only not immortal, but they are also removable. They are also takedownable, bitch. And that the only thing that even gives remnants of immortality in them is the immortality that they have stolen from your life, your certain life expectancy, your inability to access adequate health care, the fact that they have shortened your ability to have healthy children, strong children. This is their taking of your immortality to fuel themselves in their goddamn mediocrity. It's right there. It's right there in your face. If you care to see how they play in your face. You understand what I'm saying? And so, if this is the case, if the case has been that the only way that they have been able for so long to produce this play of their immortality, of their quote omnipotence, of their quote omnipresence, of their quote superiority, of their infallibility, and all the things that they scare you with and they terrorize you with. If this is the case and they tell you in your face, because as Sister Tajali told us, they have to tell you in your face what they intend to do to you in order to be absolved in the eyes of their God. That's why they have to be that audacious. You see what I'm saying? And they can be all sleuth about it and crude about it, you feel me? Because they know you aren't watching. So they don't even have to cover the shit up. They can say the only reason we're immortals up in this bitch is because we bleed actual water from the lives of human beings. That we create sacred water out of their life force that we thrive off of. Meanwhile, we use the power that we consume to embolden us from them to subdue them, to oppress them, to minimize them, to steal from them, to rob from them, to rape them, to murder them. Meanwhile, it's their life force that allows us to live. It's their life force that allows us to thrive. It's their life force that allows us to be abundant. And he said it. He said, don't be out here. Y'all think I'm crazy. Y'all treat me like I'm crazy. But I remember what we had to do. I remember what we had to do to betray and subdue our quote father, who was actually the mother. I remember what we had to do. And we ain't seen him since. So don't be telling me I'm crazy when I'm seeing all the signs and y'all motherfuckers so comfortable up the humans that you coasting. You comfortable in your coasting. You comfortable in this idea that you are immortal. And meanwhile, Zeus get mad. Didn't he get mad? Why Zeus got mad? Because he decided to take a stroll through the city after somebody, quote, committed blasphemy against him by desecrating his statue. He's like, that's a cocky human. That's a cocky human. I want to know who did that shit. Who put shit all over my shrine? Who put shit all over my statue? Who got the nerve to do that shit? Do you hear what I'm telling you? He was outraged at the unveiling of his sacred his sacred statue, his sacred shrine, and when he unveiled it, it was piled to the top with elephant shit. And he was hellfire hot. That we ain't doing enough up here for these humans to be this bodacious. They usually scared. What's that happen that the humans ain't scared no more? Who the fuck thought it was a good idea to put shit on my motherfucking altar, on my motherfucking shrine? Those of you who practice ancestral traditions and you really about that life, imagine the audacity that it would take you in your own house and in your own shrine to serve shit on the plate to your ancestors. That's why he was mad. That's why he was mad. Who the fuck get off dumping literally tons of elephant shit on my shrine? These goddamn humans and got too comfortable. And so he decides to leave Olympus to investigate what has galvanized the audacity of the humans. And guess what he figures out? That you can only oppress people so long before they're like, fuck it. We ain't got shit to lose. We might as well bust back. And that's what happened. That's what happened. He found a whole community on the outskirts of the beautiful city. See, they in Troy. And it's kept beautiful. You feel me? It's kept beautiful. It's kept clean. So the little tourists who come in, you feel me? They like, oh, it's really pretty here. It's really beautiful. You feel me? Meanwhile, all of those whose neck under your boot live on the outskirts, live in motherfucking Skid Row. You feel me? They live in places in the cut where they can't make the rich people uncomfortable. And so it looks like there's harmony in the city. It looks like things are peaceful in the city. Meanwhile, there is something brewing underneath the city in the discontent of those who have been stripped of everything but their ability to breathe. That's it. That's all they got is their ability to breathe. This is LA. This is LA. This is Skid Row. This is every homeless person that you can see now. They used to be really good about keeping the homeless people out of the public areas so it didn't make the tourists uncomfortable. They can't even keep a lid on that shit no more. You hear me? And so they go into these underbellies, quote, underbelly of the city and discover that the people are literally just barely existing, piled on top of each other, remembering how they used to live before the erection of Mount Olympus and the gods of war. Remembering, plotting and scheming about how to end their suffering. And they was like, we ain't got no power. And the police be all over us all the time. Because, of course, the police is always going to be where the poorest people are to make sure that rebellion is not on the menu for that day. That's the only reason the police exist. is to make sure that rebellion is not on the goddamn menu of the suffering and the starving. Do you understand me? And so he go down there on the low. First he go to the city that's supposed to be all nice. You know, it's all pristine. It's lovely. You feel me? And he walking through the streets, and because they've done such a good job at making the city pristine, just like you see here in LA. Let me show you Hollywood Boulevard. Everybody's shopping and laughing and cracking jokes, and everybody's good. People walking their babies, you know what I'm saying? They're just trying to be tourists in Hollywood. Meanwhile, there is a seething, boiling pot of rage and despair just below the surface of the city. And you can feel it every time you step out of your door. Every time you cross some homeless person who has been told by the city they have no right to eat. They have no right to live. They have no right to exist. Only exist enough to make sure that the city keeps getting the millions of dollars poured into it based on the statistics of the homelessness. Oh yes, they will allow you to exist in the city as homeless. They will even allow you to exist in public as homeless, because for every homeless person they can account for, there are billions of dollars being poured into the city, while those billions of dollars are being stolen by the billionaires in this fucking city. I just crunched numbers last night. There are an estimated 35,000 homeless people in the city of Los Angeles. We just learned 3 months ago that, quote, the chief of the housing department and so on and all the way back until 2000 has been responsible for the theft, quote, the disappearance of $24 billion specifically allotted to address homelessness in the city of Los Angeles. I was like, $24 billion, that's a lot of goddamn money. Like, we could have solved the homelessness problem with $24 billion. So I said, let me crunch some numbers. If it's only 35,000 homeless people in the city of Los Angeles, and there was $24 billion removed from the housing authority through shady deals in shit over the last 25 years since 2000, what does that break down to per person that's supposedly homeless in the city? 35,000 homeless people in the city of Los Angeles. $24 billion stolen from them. That's not motherfucking charity. That's day money. That's day shit to address their issues. That money that comes in from the federal government to address their peculiar issues. That's day shit. That's day money. $24 billion stolen from the homeless. 35,000 homeless people in the city of Los Angeles, and it's probably not even accounting for how many thousands of people lost their home as a consequence of this goddamn fire that nobody's talking about anymore. But let's just go with 35,000. 35,000 homeless people in the city limits of Los Angeles. If that $24 billion had been disseminated to them as it was supposed to be, do you know how much money that would be per person, per 35,000 people? $654,000 a person. $657,000 a person. That's what I mean when I say your ass has been robbed blind. That's what I mean when I say your ass has been robbed blind. The Pope said himself, without poverty, there would be no church. That's what he said. The church needs the poor. And if the church needs the poor, then it must ensure that there are always poor. You heard me? If your identity as an institution relies on your misery, then is there an incentive for them to resolve your suffering? Any institution. I'm not just talking about the church. I'm talking about your local city government who robbed $24 billion from homeless people and then got the nerve to not only complain about homeless people, but then to treat them like they are the plague of the city, like they are the problem with the city, bulldozing encampments and telling you even the little bit you have, your little tent and your little makeup, you don't even have a right to that. So instead of giving you time to pack your shit up and leave, we gonna run y'all ass out with the police and bulldoze what little you have left to the ground. You just have a right to breathe. You just have a right to exist so we can continue to get these millions of dollars funneled into our city at your expense that we have no intention of resolving. We need you to be poor, bitch. We need you to be homeless, bitch. And so people who pay taxes in this city, people who participate in the electoral process in this city, are constantly plagued. They feel guilty when they see homeless people sleeping on the street. They feel bad. And so instead of, doing something, they feel powerless. Like, damn, why there's so many homeless people? It ain't that they hate the homeless people. With every homeless person, they are being confronted by betrayal. They are being confronted with betrayal, but they don't have the language to articulate that, because in their mind, they do everything they're supposed to do as a responsible citizen. They pay their taxes, and the city tells them so much of a percentage of what you pay in taxes is going to address homelessness in this city. We're going to give people some place to live and some food and shit. You feel me? They pay their taxes. They be the responsible citizen, and every time there's a vote, no matter what level, they go and participate in the electoral process, because they have been promised that if they participate in the electoral process, this is how you solve the problems that you are constantly conflicted with every time you go somewhere. And so they do all the things. They do all the right things. They donate money to their church. You know what I'm saying? They pay their tithes. They give $1 every time they see a homeless person on the street. They pay their taxes. They go and vote at every election. And they see that no matter what they have done in their adult life, situations everywhere around them are getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Meanwhile, and simultaneously, the worse and worse and worse and worse they experience, that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, like a goddamn invisible tumor cast over the whole goddamn country. At the same time that they're witnessing this goddamn malignancy spread all over the goddamn country, this country, their billionaires have gotten richer and richer and richer. Not just richer, more and more. Your poverty gives birth to billionaires, bitch. Your suffering gives birth to billionaires. 5 years ago, there were 297 billionaires in the United States of America. 5 years ago. You sufferers, you taxpayers, you law-abiding citizens, you collectively have given birth to 909 billionaires in 5 fucking years. 5 years. That's what your betrayal, not your betrayal, the betrayal of you, the betrayal of the ideas imposed on your skull. They tell you just be a law-abiding citizen. Just pay your taxes. Just do the right thing. Just be a good person. Make your donations. Pay your tithes. Do your this and that. Do your this and that. If you do everything right, America will look like the good old days, whenever that was. And the reason they can keep fucking betraying you with a goddamn strategy of nostalgia is because there's no point in the history of this country that you can point to where there was some mythological good old days. Nowhere. Nowhere. Point to one. Even their own statistics say that since the United States of America became a legitimate country, collectively in 250 years, there has only been 17 years where America was not involved in an act of aggression somewhere on this planet. 17 years out of 250 of so-called peace. And that ain't even peace. Your ass just taking a break from your aggressions. So tell me where them good old days are. In the meantime, because you keep watching bullshit like Housewives of Hollywood or Housewives of Beverly Hills that keep getting you invested in the idea that the only salvation for your suffering is to become rich, is to bag some rich bitch, is to be cute enough to bed some rich boy. That's the only solution you're being offered. Men too. The only way to ease your suffering is to subdue some rich bitch, is to snag the rich bitch and then make her act like a good, respectable domestic wife. You know, turn her into a submissive bitch. This is your rescue too. But the only solution for the future that you can see is tied to the wealthy. Oh yes, that's the sleight of hand shit. That's the only solution that you can see. And that's why you still big up the wealthy. That's why you still treat billionaires like fucking rock stars. It's because the only solution being offered in this shit is to appeal to a billionaire. Is to get close enough to a billionaire that they see that you are not like the other ones. That you can be a good servant, a glorified servant, but a good servant. And so you see all of a sudden, all these black women, I'm calling y'all out, going to Dubai, going to these Arab countries. Janet Jackson did it for us. They were like, damn, she snagged herself an oil tycoon. You feel me? Yeah, she was rich on her own, but she snagged snagged an oil tycoon. Naomi Campbell did it before her. Snagged herself a Russian billionaire. And we was all glorifying it because this white boy from Russia, who a billionaire, he recognized who he got, and so he built her a couple of houses and shit. And we like, yeah. And then what they say, this whole campaign, real men, millionaires don't date black women, billionaires marry black women. That was the vibe. That was the story, right? And at the end of the day, we fell for that shit. No, they right. They right. The only people that can respect the presence of God is motherfucking billionaires. Ain't that about a bitch? Getting you, God incarnate, to seek out the attention of the object of everyone on earth suffering, to see you as something different than the many. I'm telling you, everything is a sleight of hand. Everything is a sleight of hand to keep you where you are, to keep you subdued, to keep you from filling your void, to keep you from eating the true food, from keeping you seeking out what will truly satiate, what will truly satisfy, what will truly give pleasure, full pleasure. The true food is rebellion. 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 It's rebellion. It's the only solution. It's the only thing that satisfies. It's the only thing that purifies. It's the only thing that elevates. It's the only thing that rescues. Rebellion is the true food. Rebellion is the true food. Rebellion is the true food, bitch. Let loose your baby giant. Let loose your baby giant, baby. Set your baby giant free. Set your baby giant free. Every story that you done heard about giants, Jack and the motherfucking beanstalk, Jack was a colonizer. Jack was a colonizer. Jack was a colonizer. The giant up in the world, minding his own business, doing his own thing, experiencing his own peace, and Jack, his mediocre, ignorant ass self, always looking to get something for nothing, always looking to steal what does not belong to him. He ain't scared because his mediocrity has aggrandized his fucking malignant ego. His ego is aggrandized by the make-believe Father God living alive in his skull, bitch. Yup. Every story. Revisit every story you hear about the giants as the ultimate bad guys, as the big bad wicked. You know what I'm saying? As some mediocre, they can't even write their character not mediocre. How Jack and the Beanstalk, how Jack sell the only cow they got, and the cow is a metaphor. Listen to me. The cow in that story is a metaphor. Listen, the cow is a metaphor. His mother is a metaphor. His mother says, take our cow, our last cow, take it into town and sell her so that we can eat. And he is the child. He's the child. Not only does he take the only thing of value that they have, the cow, the sacred cow, the sacred cow of heaven, whose milk is abundant. You understand? Who feeds us from her flesh, her milk. You feel me? She is a representation of the abundance that we had, that we sold for scraps. He is a representation of what happened, why we no longer experience abundance. We don't experience abundance because the son betrayed his fucking mama. We no longer experience abundance because the son gone rogue, betrayed his mother, and gave away his inheritance, gave away the cow. Gave away the only plenty that he had, a big fat she cow with nursing udders, and he go and let some slick talking ass motherfucker, you understand? Let some slick ass motherfucker say, look, I'm gonna give you 3 beans for your cow. I'm gonna give you 3 beans for your cow. The only thing of value that you have left in life. This is the son gone rogue. This is the son gone rogue. And since he know better than his mama, who told him, don't come back home until you have what I told you to bring home. And even as she threatened him, He still went off and did exactly what the fuck he wanted to do and got 3 little magic beans. And what the magic beans did, the magic beans allowed him to go up into the clouds, into heaven. You understand? His soul became malignant. His spirit became malignant. And at that moment that he entered into the clouds and he killed the giant, who was the giant? His mama. Because what is heaven? Heaven's not white. Heaven's black. Heaven's black. So he ascends into heaven and kills the giant that rules heaven. And so he becomes the hero who slayed the giant. He becomes the hero who slayed the giant. And now heaven is forever white in your imagination, in your skull. Heaven forever becomes white because the sun has taken up all the space in heaven, so that now, even as your eyes see that it is black as night, you still see daylight. You still see an ever white sky. You still see a great white heaven. A great white heaven. A great white heaven. Even as your eyes say, I told you daylight is an optical illusion, bitch. I told you daylight is an optical illusion, that even when you perceive daylight, guess what? Heaven is black. And you like, half the day is white. You hear me? Jack and the Beanstalk is about the sun's hostile takeover of your imagination, of your heaven, your heaven. David and Goliath is about the hostile takeover of the secrets and the bounty of the great primordial mother. I'm telling you, go over every story of the giant and the minuscule mediocre who hates his mama, and I'm telling you, that story will be in every story. Of course, they have to change the quote antagonist into a male, otherwise they would be telling you too much. They would be telling you too much. We can't make the antagonist female. So both the personification of evil, or the bad guy, becomes the male giant. And now you don't feel so bad about cheering for the mediocre minuscule. Now you don't feel guilty about cheering for Jack. And in that story, Jack always teaching you, David always teaching you that your salvation is the theft of resources of somebody else. That if you want to be big, especially David and Goliath. He was a nobody, a runt among the litter, as it is told. And guess what happened? All he had to do was betray and slay the mother, and guess what? He becomes one of the most notable kings in the Old Testament, doesn't he? This story is teaching you all the time that the more willing you are to betray the mother, the richer we can make you, bitch. It doesn't matter how basic you are, how mediocre you are, how much of a runt you are. If you are willing to slay and betray the mother, bitch, we got some riches over here. That's why every billionaire you see is an awkward revenge of the nerds, geekazoid, and don't even have the nerve to be as smart as the revenge of the nerds. At least they learned some shit. At least they do some shit. At least they study some shit. These motherfuckers don't even have to study. Don't even have to be real nerds. All they got to do is steal everybody else's inventions. Scratch their name off of it and put their name on it, and then act like they the professionals. Act like this was the genius of their own mind. At least with the revenge of the nerds, that was the thing that they had to fall back on. Well, at least I'm brilliant. Maybe if I create some shit brilliant, a babe will be out here for me. These nerds that exist today don't even have to do anything. They are the personification of mediocrity aggrandized. Mediocrity placed up on high above the rest of you. And even though you can be in a space with them and be like, oh my God, this motherfucker really is dumb as a box of rocks. You see the interviews? You see the interviews where these women be interviewing these men and they be trying to front on some like, I'm a genius. And one of the women was like, but you didn't invent that. Well, you know, invention is a broad term. That's what Bill Gates said. Invention is a broad term. She was like, what you mean it's a broad term? You didn't invent it. You stole it from someone else. And then you continue to perpetuate like this is your invention, not like you are a blindside, regular old, everyday robber, theft, thief. You feel me? Every story, revisit every story. It might be a whole lot. It might be a whole life we have to do about how the story of the giant is a repetition of the son gone rogue, who betrays and murders his mother and becomes aggrandized in his mediocrity. He becomes king in his mediocrity. He doesn't have to be born king anymore. He doesn't have to descend from a sacred line anymore. He doesn't have to be trained to rule anymore. He doesn't even have to learn how to hold a sword anymore. He can slay the many with the stroke of his pen. He can generate bloodshed with the stroke of his pen and be completely separated from it. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. And you have become confused. Why? Because you have been deliberately blinded by the lights. You have been blinded by the lights. You have been blinded by the lights. You have been blinded by the lights. Is that unreasonable to say that you have been blinded by the light? In the daytime, you are blind. Why? Because you cannot see the stars. You cannot see the primordial blackness of the night sky. You are literally blinded. What does it mean to be blinded by the light? To be unable to see the truth of things, even as you can see everything. To be blinded by the truth of things, the nature of things, the true face of things. Because the light is so bright, just like in the daytime, you have to hold your eyes to block the sun because it's too much. You cannot see when you're driving in your car. You got visors everywhere. Why? Because the sun will blind you so much that you cannot see your way forward. Oh my God. Oh my God. The sun will blind you to the degree that you cannot see your way forward. That's why you got visors all over the place. What are the visors? The mother's attempt to shield you from the harshness of the light. Oh, it's the shade that shields you from the harshness of the light. It's the visor, like the mother's hand, saying you need the light, but you don't need to be blinded by the light. Let me cover your eyes real quick. Yo, this a word. This a word. This a word. So I'm gonna go. I done made my point known right here. Hold on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I was telling y'all this is spell work. You remember me telling y'all we were reading and the Dictionary of Myths and Secrets. The Dictionary of Symbols and Sacred Objects by Barbara G. Walker, and she was talking about the stars on Hollywood Boulevard being a naming spell. Oh yes, 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 yes. Y'all remember that? Y'all don't remember that. Go back to your Dictionary of Symbols and Sacred Objects, where she talks about this phenomenon called the Hollywood Walk being a very ancient work of spell casting through name ceremony and name ritual. That's what she said. That's what she said. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. You don't have to believe in conspiracies. You don't even have to believe in magic for that shit to be having an ongoing impact on your life. Centered right here in this city of Los Angeles, California, in this ritual erected, known as Hollywood, California. Literally erected on top of a portal, on top of a vortex to spell cast on the consciousness of every human being on this planet. We have a city to take. We have a city to take. We have a city to take. We have a dragon to raise. We have a dragon to raise. That's right here. Yes. We have a city of zombies waiting to be, resurrected. Listen, we have a city of zombies. Who said you was a zombie? Yo, Jesus did. Yo, Jesus did. Yo, Jesus said, your mama ain't shit, and because you born from your mama, until you allow me to christen you with my blood, your ass is the walking dead. That's what he said out of his mouth. That until you eat of my blood and drink of my blood and eat of my body, you are born dead. That's what Jesus said. You born dead. So we have a city of zombies to wake, to breathe life into. You understand? We have a giant. We have a dragon. We have a giant dragon waiting to be emboldened up in this bitch. And when she is emboldened in this bitch, it will ricochet throughout the entire globe like a goddamn tidal wave in every direction. In every direction. I guarantee. I feel this shit. I feel this shit. But the ceremony to wake this dragon, cannot be no laborious, boring fucking shit. It's gotta have flair. It's gotta have his titties out. It's gotta be shaking his ass while still staging an outright rebellion. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Some of y'all black nationalists, some of y'all hardcore militants, some of y'all white nationalists, some of y'all misogynists, y'all gonna hate this. The reason you hate gays, the reason you hate the LGBTQIA, the reason you hate trans people, the reason it's not just misogyny. It's not just patriarchy. That's a blanket statement. It's true, but that's not the reason. It's because you are a zombie and you are still asleep in the spell of misogyny and patriarchy. That is you, as you are asleep in the spell of misogyny and patriarchy, your patriarch hates, your inner patriarch hates any sign of rebellion. Yes, it does. It occurred to me today. It's not enough to say that the reason there are marginalized people is because patriarchy exists. That's not the only, that's the main reason. That's the governing reason. But how do we make it make sense to the regular person? While they're good people, but they get uncomfortable. I saw a sister who was trans on my way here. And she was statuesque as a motherfucker. That motherfucker had to be 6'5". And she was like, fuck it, I'm in here in a mini dress, bitch, let's go. Prancing down Hollywood Boulevard. And every single person that saw her, I'm just watching. Every single person that saw her stopped, full stop. People in a car stopped, full stop. Women looking and laughing and pointing to her to their husbands. And people are dismayed and bewildered. And nobody is conscious enough to stop and ask themselves why they would create such a spectacle out of this person choosing to live their life the way they see fit. It is because they have to laugh because they are uncomfortable. They have to point because they are uncomfortable. Listen, they have to point because they are uncomfortable. And they need the comfort of normalcy to reconcile why they are discomfort. They are uncomfortable. You feel what I'm saying? They laugh, they make a spectacle of pointing, they make a spectacle of teasing, they make a spectacle of condemning others because they have to feel safe in their perception of normalcy. Because in the laughing, ha ha, and all that shit they do, it's a cover for their discomfort. They're like, why am I harassed? This is not normal, and I need normal to feel sane. Why do you need normal to feel sane? Because the patriarch in your head is raging the fuck out of control. It is your patriarch who is uncomfortable with any presentation of rebellion. How dare this bitch not be normal? How dare this bitch color outside the lines? How dare this 2-year-old? I tell the 2-year-old to draw a car and they draw a reindeer and say, this is my car. How dare this 2-year-old? You call a meeting with the parents and be like, your child doesn't seem to obey, doesn't seem to understand how to follow orders. Your inner patriarch is always uneasy with the slightest sign of rebellion, even in your babies, even in your toddlers, because your toddlers and your babies, they giant is still big. You become the agent of the patriarch that subdues your babies. You become the agent. You become the mayor of your babies. You become the governor of your babies. You become the preacher to your babies. You become the even with a vagina and a uterus, bitch, yes you. You become the chief and prisoner of your giant. Your baby is born a giant. Your baby is born a giant, and the only thing that subdues them is you, because you have a full-grown patriarch living in your head. You become your baby's punisher. You love your babies. And you even tell your babies, this is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you, that I have to put my hands on you, that I have to take a belt and put it across your ass, because my patriarchal father God tells me that if I really love you, I would beat you. If I really loved you, I would spank you. if I really love you and I care about you, I must subdue you. Because if I send you out in the world as a rebel, if I send you out in the world as a giant, then the bigger, badder patriarch is likely to kill you, is likely to imprison you for real, is likely to end your life, is likely to put you in jail, is likely to subdue you in a myriad of other ways. Girl child, that's why you can't be wearing miniskirts. That's why you can't be wearing booty shorts. That's why you can't be doing these. You can't wear no pink hair, because anything that has you stand out among the normal, AKA the zombies, you understand? Anything that has you stand out among the normal, the patriarch is likely to snatch your ass up off the road. So it is love that we do these things to our children. It is based in love, but it's based in a patriarchal love. It's based in a patriarchal love. And patriarchy demands that you punish those you love. It does. It does. Jesus demands it, didn't he say? That to be like me, to be Christ-like, you have to carry your cross. You have to suffer, bitch. Patriarchal love requires your suffering as proof that you love him. Patriarchal love requires that somebody in your relationship has to be the divine punisher, and somebody has to be the divine recipient of that punishment. You both have to accept those roles. And you, as the punisher, love your babies, and you love seeing your babies happy. And so when your parents tell you it really is gonna hurt me more than it hurt you, and you don't understand, because you be like in your baby head, like, why you doing it then? Don't be spanking me then. If it's gonna hurt you, don't spank me. That's what I used to think when I was a kid. And as a grown-up, I perfectly understand what my father meant when he said that shit to me. Because to spank your children, to harm your children, is to further deepen. It's to further deepen your imprisonment. It's to further split your personality. It's further hurting yourself in this commitment that you have to a fictitious Father God that has taken up space in your goddamn consciousness and infects your entire soul now. This is the relationship that we have to the rest of the world. Just like, what is it, Morpheus told Neo? Everybody you see here is somebody that needs to be freed. But until they are freed, they will fight like hell to preserve the state, bitch. They will fight. Huh? Oh, no. Everybody will preserve the state. They will preserve the patriarch in their head. That white architect in that all-white room, and he got the white suit on and the white beard and the white hair that Neo is talking to in the Matrix. This is the God living in your head, bitch. This is the patriarch that rules your life. Not only that rules your life, because he tell you in the movie. Not only do I rule your life, he told Neo, every decision that you think that you have made on your own is a part of the program, bitch. I programmed you to make those decisions ahead of time. Yes, he told him that. He said, there ain't a decision that you have made that was your own. That's what he told him. That's what he told him. He said, that's how ever present I am, bitch. Every decision that you have ever made was pre-programmed. How? By your TV, by your parents, by the songs, by the cartoons you watched as a child. And so I'm gonna tell you, everybody out here has a giant that needs to be freed. Everybody out here has a giant that is begging to be let loose. All that shit, I'm gonna tell you another crime. Throw your yoga teacher in the trash, bitch. Somebody gonna be mad. Throw your yoga teacher in the trash. Throw your guru who teaches you transcendental meditation. Throw that motherfucker in the garbage. Throw him in the garbage. Cause he ain't no guru. He ain't no leader. He ain't someone who knows better than you, so he can be a great mentor to you in your quote enlightenment. He is a program in the goddamn Patrix. He a program in the Patrix to give you the illusion of options. Is it Christianity or is it transcendental meditation? Is it Allah or is it Hinduism? The illusion of options among the many-faced God that is known as the patriarch. Yes. The illusion of options, the illusion of choice. Meanwhile, the great patriarch is alive and well in the mall. Throw him away. Unless now look at this person right here. You mind if I shoot you? Looking all glamorous. You see that? Yes, you bitch. Looking all glamorous. And you see how everybody, look at these faces around them. How everybody is pointing. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. How everybody was pointing and laughing. Why? And you see how cocky that bitch was walking down the road in his high heels and his hot as fuck out this bitch? You see that? You see why? Because a patriarch is alive and well and is always looking to subdue any sign of rebellion. Whenever you see some shit like that and it makes you immediately uncomfortable, check yourself. I know that's hard for y'all. Because you are comfortable with normal. Yes, you are. You not only are comfortable with normal, you seek out normal because it makes you feel vindicated. Because your baby giant is harassing the fuck out of you. The comfort that you get from, quote, being surrounded by normality, the comfort that you receive from normality is the sigh of relief that your patriarch is breathing, bitch. Oh, woo! It is the sigh of relief, child, that your inner patriarch sitting in your throne, he breathes when you get the body response of discomfort from seeing a rebel. Oh yes, he does. Oh yeah, he's like, okay, I did good. That bitch was uncomfortable seeing the big bitch walking down the street in high heels. He has taken a hold of your cells, bitch. It's not just your head. Governing your head, when your yoga teacher tells you, imagine the great white light in your head filling your whole body. Throw your yoga teacher in the garbage. Oh my God, you are the victim of possession, bitch. Yo. When your yoga teacher tells you, imagine a great white light in your head, filling your body and healing every square inch of your, and that bitch will literally walk you through each one of your chakras, imagining that your chakra is now embodying the great white light of the 1,000-petal lotus in your head. The 1,000-petal lotus in your head that has been hijacked by the goddamn patriarch in your head. It's not your mother sitting in your goddamn lotus flower no more, bitch. The great primordial black that is supposed to be the cosmic bigness of the goddamn universe that's jet black and filled with stars. It's not that. It's a great white patriarch sitting in the lotus that your mother should have been occupying. And then your yoga teacher tells you, imagine this patriarch filling your whole body, healing every chakra. Meanwhile, that's a spell. That's a malignancy infecting every single cell in your body. And your response to the awkward, your response to the freak, your response to the homeless.
I just want to listen to you.
Your response to the homeless, your response to the poor, your response to everything that is outside the comfort of your normal, and you have a negative response to what's not normal, just know that your inner patriarch has seized the victory over your whole body, over your whole life. He has won. He has emerged victorious. He has emerged victorious. Yes, he has. And so that calm you feel when other people join in, when you laugh at somebody. You know how when one person laughs at somebody, everybody laughs? Because they don't want to be left out either. They don't want to be left out of what they perceive is the normal response at someone not normal, at someone awkward, at some rebel. And so you say something, and then people big you up. Like you the one who started the laughing, so let me laugh too, so I don't seem like an oddball, and they don't start laughing at me. Let me laugh at the oddball. You hear me? And so whenever you experience these moments of discomfort, I told you that with me. I told you that with some of these people who be coming up on my shit with that bullshit. Everything I say to you, you can never say that's not said out of love. I'm here to help your inner giant, bitch. I don't give a fuck about nothing else on earth. Nothing. Because I know what it's gonna take. And it's not gonna take a Messiah. I'm not a Messiah. I'm not a guru. I'm not a heroine. I am one of the 8.5 billion giants on this earth fighting like hell to be free. That's who I am. And I happen to listen. I happen to hear. Why? Because fortunately, I cut my teeth in a revolutionary organization that tells me that every day I have to stage a goddamn contest with the patriarch in my head. And I never let go of that. That's the thing that set me on a course different from others who might be spiritual people or who might be close spiritual leaders or gurus or yogis. But without the information that has them setting on their feet as soon as their eyes meet the light of the morning, that okay, how is my fight against the patriarch in my head going to unfold on this day? What it's gonna look like? What kind of contest am I gonna stage with the patriarch in my head? What is it gonna take to subdue the patriarch in my head today? I love your shirt. Hold on, can I get a picture of your shirt for my followers? Hold on, yeah. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. Yes, bitch, yes. The necklace and everything. This is what I'm talking about. Big up your local rebels. Big up your local rebels. You understand me? If you see something and your immediate response is discomfort, sitting that shit for 2.5 seconds, we switch your brain and then big up that which made you uncomfortable. You want to see the fucking spell broken off your brain? Every time you big up rebellion, there's a chain link that's not loose. Every time, I'm telling you, that's why I always say, you always speak to black people. If you do not know them, how you doing? I'm fantastic. Always speak to black people, even if you do not know them. I don't give a fuck who you are. That's my starting point. If you ain't black, even if you black, but especially if you ain't black, every black person that you see on the street, you speak. You want to see the chain links of fucking racism as a spell cast by your patriarch. Racism is a spell cast by your patriarch, bitch. And if you are a person that's not black and want to ensure that the chain links of racism that exist in your body and in your brain are always pop loose, just make it a habit. You ain't even gotta say nothing dynamic. Hey, how you doing? Every black person you see, hey, how you doing? And keep it pushing. Don't expect nothing back, even oh, hey, how you doing back? Make it a habit. Speaking to every black person you see, guess what? You are gonna harass the fuck out of that patriarch in your head, I promise. And the more comfortable you get with that feeling of internal resistance between your spirit, your heart, your baby giant, and your head that's been taken over, the more comfortable you get with that resistance, the more comfortable you get with rebellion. You do. The more comfortable you get with the appearance of rebellion, even if it went against what your black nationalism taught you, even if it went against what your Christianity taught you, all of a sudden you feel an ease. You feel an ease at welcoming the signs of rebellion. You feel a comfort.
My mind run on you.
You feel a comfort. Not only do you feel a comfort, you feel a comfort, you feel an ease. Then, slowly, after a little bit of time, you feel a confidence. Slowly, after you feel that confidence a little bit more, you feel an audacity. Slowly, after you feel that audacity, every now and again, your ass becomes the walking personification of courage, of audacity, of bravery, of rebellion, of fuck you, of I'm out here to offend every fucking body, because that's what it's gonna take to shake the patriarch loose from your skull, bitch. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yes. Woo, Power Kismet, you better come on. You better come on up in here with these shirt titles. We need a secretary. Somebody needs to be typing bullet points from the goddamn comment section so we can keep that shit. You feel me? These gonna be campaign t-shirts, bitch. Revenge is delicious. Wait a minute, let me see that again. Revenge is delicious. Rebellion is on the menu. Retribution retribution is nectar for the soul. We need a, you know what? We need a temple of evolutionary emergence choir. We need to be singing songs with a full ass choir. Because familiarity, images, is what our enemy uses against us. Familiarity with images is what our enemy uses against us. So we have to take the shit back. What I said yesterday on the live, take the power back. So we have to take the power back. We need a choir right out here on Hollywood Boulevard, fully draped in purple, in red, in the colors of the EIME, red, black, and white, with a purple little sash thing on it, with a temple of evolutionary emergence goddamn logo on that joint. You feel me? Instead of it being long all the way to the ground like the Pope and shit, we need that shit to be like a mini skirt, but still like a robe, but like up to the thigh bones. You feel me? And we need big ass hair. We need the Sacred Rebellion, but it be familiar, right? Because the symbols are familiar to your limbic system. You feel me? There's a calm and a trust that you see when you see a bunch of singing bitches in some robes. You understand what I'm saying? There's a comfort that you feel, a familiarity that you feel when you see a bunch of singing bitches in robes, swaying back and forth, sounding serene, singing in harmonies and shit. Feel me? And you gonna stop just to see what they talking about. And your expectation in your conscious mind, because the patriarch is gonna expect to hear him. He is going to expect to hear about him. I just had an epiphany. The great he, him. And what do they call the songs that they sing to the great he, him? Hymns. Isn't that what they call the songs that they sing to the great he, him? Don't they call it hymns? I wonder if that's an accident. I wonder if that's a coincidence. Not likely. So all these people who probably grew up in the church, they're gonna walk down and see all these bitches in robes that look familiar like when they was at church as a kid. And they're gonna see these bitches singing in glorious songs, in harmony, and waving back and forth just like you used to see your choir. And that shit used to make you feel so good, as though you didn't feel so bad about Sunday school, because at least you got to hear the music, even if the preacher was talking too much. You feel me? And so people gonna stop and they're gonna pile around to see these beautiful bitches dancing in robes and singing in harmonies and shit, singing songs that sound familiar to their childhood about their Lord and Savior. And then we start singing, and in it, the he becomes the great primordial shit, and the him becomes her, the divine one. Huh? And your patriarch is having a whole goddamn moment. Those boots are everything. Ma'am, your shoes is fire.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And so they listening for words that sound familiar. Your inner patriarch is literally listening to these glorious bitches, singing these beautiful songs that sound familiar to your spirit. And then all of a sudden, you start to sing in uniform the chorus of the song. And the chorus of the song is that we must subdue our roguish son. We must subdue our roguish son. And then they say, yes, right? You get a yes, right? And then you say, how do we subdue the roguish son? Do you know rebellion is on the menu? This is the answer. Did you know? This is the answer. Did you know? Rebellion is on the menu. Rebellion is on the menu. And then they start swinging. This is the intro. It's slow. It's an interlude. You feel me? You know how the church used to build that shit up. Build up the anticipation with the slow. Like they talk singing to you. They slow talk singing to you. And then the lead will be like, and let me tell you a story. And the people are singing in the background. I can't sing no high notes. My shit is like a tenor, a female tenor. You feel me? So I'm gonna have to find some sopranos. But in the meantime, You doing your little sing-song thing as the lead of the choir, and you swaying back and forth, and you got your serious face on. And I want to tell you a story tonight, and then some humming happening behind it. And I'm going to tell you a story about my struggle in life. Because y'all know you Christians need to hear about struggle, because that's what Jesus taught you. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you a word today. I want to tell you about a miracle in my life. And meanwhile, your choir still swaying and humming in the background. Humming in harmony in the background. As I tell you about this miracle that I experienced in my life. You know what I'm saying? That I entered the world a giant, but my mama didn't know. And I too entered a giant into this world, entered as a giant into this world, and my daddy didn't know. But the mother knew. And so she whispered in my mother and my father's ear, this destiny that would be mine. And in order, and they sing in the background, And in order for this destiny to come to fruition, they had to trust that little inner voice that whispered in their ears to say, name this child Cassandra, for she has a grand legacy in front of her. She, Cassandra, the legacy of all the fates in your family, she will be born and emerge in a world of darkness, as she who illuminates mankind. What? Woo! People start clapping in the audience. Woo! Clapping in the audience, right? But I want to tell you this glorious destiny that came from two people who did not know that they giants too was looking for an escape. You understand? These two Christians who gave their baby the name Cassandra Faye Floyd. She who uplifts mankind. She who illuminates those who have been blinded by the light. She who incarnates with the power of the fays, the fairies, and she who is a weaver of fate. She who is a weaver of fate. Do you understand me? They didn't know. They were just good Christians. You understand? And the singing bitches, they still singing in the background. But now the energy is mounting. You need the slow introduction. And so the word that I want to give you tonight in this telling of the story of how I became a daughter of the faiths, in a world of blindness. You understand? I want to tell you tonight that you too, you may not have the name Cassandra, bitch, but inside you, you have a giant begging to be set free. Whoa, everybody the energy start mounting. The energy start mounting. The scene gets bigger. The moves get wider. Now somebody done broke out the tambourine. Now they playing, right? And the crowd done got up and everybody clapping and stomping on the ground. But let me tell you, this is me still doing the little sing-songy thing. But let me tell you today what the secret is to unleashing your primordial dragon, your goddamn giant who has been stuck in a cage. Let me tell you what the secret is. The secret in the message today is that you have to stage a rebellion. You, the medicine for what ails you is rebellion. The food that fills your soul is rebellion. Yes, everybody's screaming now. Yes, everybody's screaming. The drums then decide to kick in. Everybody's screaming now. The true food is not some cracker Christ goddamn body. Your ass ain't a vampire. The true food is not the make-believe ambrosia that kept the goddamn giants, the malignants of Mount Olympus fed. That ain't what Zeus was fearing. What was he fearing? What was he on the scouts for? What was he trying to subdue? He was trying to subdue your happiness. As he walked through the streets of Troy and was like, what the fuck is going on in here? Why everybody happy? Why ain't nobody fighting? Why people picking up their babies, kissing their babies and bullshit? What kind of shit is this? He mad at your happiness. This gives you an inclination. Oh yes. Let me tell you something. Your happiness is rebellion. While the patriarch remains, your happiness is an act of rebellion. Yes. While the patriarch remains, your fully embodied enjoyment of sex that's not aggressive, that's not the way he prescribed it, that's oppressive, that's subduing. Your true expression of sexual ecstasy is you staging a rebellion against the patriarch alive in your head. Oh yes, oh yes. So the true food is rebellion. What is rebellion? True food is all that thing. Rebellion is all that gives you pleasure, all that gives you joy, all that gives you ecstasy, all that makes you laugh, all that gives you a fully embodied experience. Your very life is an act of rebellion. Yes, it is, when it's yours to live. When you free your baby giant, everything you do, just walking through the streets, doing your own thing and minding your own business, becomes an act of rebellion because people see your heart instead of the light booming out of your head. They're like, oh, there's something different about this bitch. Something different about this bitch. I can't tell you how many motherfucking men. I don't even understand why I'm attracted to you. I do, baby. Poor thing. Poor thing. And you too one day will recognize that you got a baby that need to be let loose. You got a baby giant that need to be let loose. It's your little baby talking to my little baby. You know how little babies, you be having your baby in a stroller and then another baby be coming in a stroller and the babies will lock eyes and naturally want to talk to each other. They be trying to teach their parents something, but their parents too stupid to listen. So they keep passing, even though the babies want to talk. The babies see self in each other. Your babies are still giants when they are born. It is you who subdues them. It is you who subdues them. And so the bitches is still singing in the background. I want to tell you what's on the menu today. On the menu today, we got revenge, and the crowd screams. And the bitches in the background go in. Revenge! However they gonna sing it. Revenge! They gonna back me up. Also on the menu today, we got redemption. Redemption! Redemption! You feel me? Also on the menu today, served hot and fresh, is rebellion. Woo! Then you hear the tambourine and the this and the this, and the drums start kicking in. Now everybody clapping. Everybody start clapping. Why? Because rebellion is served hot, bitch. Today, rebellion is served hot. It is the key item on the menu today. If you have been feeling lacking in your spirit, if you have been feeling that no matter how good your diet is, you just don't have the energy to go on. If you have been feeling depressed and you can't explain why. If you have been feeling pain in your body, but you do everything right. You're a vegetarian, you're a vegan, you work out 5 days a week, yet you cannot understand how you continue to get sick. I am telling you, these are the laments of the goddamn giant waiting to be let loose. This is the lament of the giant waiting to be uncaged, waiting to be set free. Yes. And if you don't listen to the baby is going to start wreaking havoc. The baby is going to start sabotaging your life because that's the period we're in. So you going to eat this meal? You going to drink this drink? You understand? You gonna jump both feet first into this menu and say you want one of everything? Okay. It is the only meal that fills in this day where you are literally being robbed blind by your son gone rogue. It is the only meal that fills. It's the only meal that fuels. It's the only meal that emboldens. It's the only meal that gets the goddamn job done. It's the only meal that gets the goddamn job done. Rebellion served hot, bitch. Yes. Yes. The motivating force behind your rebellion is redemption. It's redemption. It's the mother's justice. It's the mother's justice. It's redemption. It is glory reimagined. Rebellion is the only thing. Hey, sweet pea. Rebellion is the only thing that ensures the return of the golden age, bitch. Yeah, somebody say buffet, bitch. That's what I'm talking about. I want one of everything on the menu. I want redemption. I want revenge. I want justice. I want rebellion. I want radical action. Yes. It's the only thing that is going to guarantee a future for any of us. There's no way around that shit. So now I'm gonna go home. Next time I'm gonna probably stop at a bar, get myself a cocktail, since I've been talking for 2 hours straight, and 2 hours before that, before I even came out to here to y'all. Caught enough people attention that they was looking at me crazy. You feel me? Some people waved, that's cool. But every opportunity to make the world uncomfortable, every time you get a reaction out of someone, this is gonna be the discipline. Every time you get a reaction out of one that you are uncomfortable with, you go out here to stage a rebellion. You go out here to go on the offensive, because that's what you're doing. This is what going on the offensive looks like. It's because people expect to be able to walk up and down this shit and not have really anything that anybody's saying disrupt their false sense of peace. The Jesus freaks down here on the end, they ain't disrupting nobody's peace. It's expected. The fucking Hebrew Israelites down here on that bullshit they be on, they ain't disrupting nobody's peace. They eager to be out here looking like coons, looking at clown ass motherfucking fools. They ain't disrupting nobody's peace. They aren't saving anybody's life today. They aren't rescuing anybody's fucking giant today. They aren't. They aren't kicking open the cages. No, they ain't. Why? Because the Hebrew Israelites are agents of the state, bitch. Why? Because the Christians on the corner down here are agents of the state, bitch. Why? Because this shit is the state. This is the state. And so when you go out here, some people may look at you crazy, give you some offhanded compliments. Just know what you're doing has worked, because it's their patriarch that's responding. It's that great white guy in the sky that is responding. With every bad word, with every cross look, with every weirdo. And my comment section is probably a bot anyway. But every weirdo in my comment section on that bullshit, bullshit, even if it's a bot, it's probably the patriarch. It's probably the patriarch in the goddamn system. The patriarch is programmed to respond in the form of bots. That's not unlikely, actually. That's not unlikely. You feel me? So every time you feel yourself, somebody get triggered by something you have said, when you go out here to stage an offensive, wherever that here is. See, the Christians can be real audacious. They don't have to worry about it, because their great white hope in the sky has taught them that there is none above them. And so they go out here in that egomania. It's a sign of their insanity, right? And then they have trained the general population so well that it is rare that you will see a whole bunch of Christians on the corner and anybody step to them and be like, why y'all talking that bullshit? They won't do that to the Christians, because in the back of their mind, they were like, well, even though I ain't a Christian, I don't want to offend the disciples of the Christians, so I'm going to just walk by like I don't even see them. Even the Muslims, the Arabs, the atheists, nobody come out here and challenge them Christians, because they still believe in the back of their mind, well, maybe I'm wrong, and so I don't want to offend Jesus' disciples out here on the corner, so let me just keep my mouth shut. I'm just saying, there's a reason that everybody shows unquestioned, quote, respect for the madness of Christians descending down on the whole goddamn world in their campaign of, quote, collecting the Lord's harvest. Using the reaper of the Lord to collect the Lord's harvest. Y'all, anyway. So do not have a knee-jerk reactionary response when people are obviously made uncomfortable. This is what you signed up to do, is to be a rebel, is to stage a rebellion, is to contend in every space. That if people are comfortable, they cannot contend. If people feel safe, they cannot contend. If people feel comfortable, they will not rebel. I'm just trying to tell you. And so take it as progress. Take it as a sign of a job well done. Take it as a sign of a job well done. When you harass the inner patriarch of one who feels because they are uncomfortable, they have no choice but to lash out. Because their patriarch is uncomfortable, they have no choice but to lash out. Either laugh at you, call you crazy, what your ass talking about? You don't know what you talking about. Why you fat? If they descend to that, if they ain't got nothing for you, if they can't contend, their response will be fat bitch, black bitch, whatever it is. Baby, take it that you landed a successful shot at the goddamn patriarch. Take it as an invisible bow, what you said at your mouth, your tongue. Remember what our cards say? That our arrows cards are about the words that we let loose from our mouth. And what's going to determine if they always land if they always hit the mark, even if we blind, even if we got a blindfold on, we always hit the mark. The truth of what is happening in our heart will never miss. If the mother's will is governing our heart, we'll never miss the mark. And the evidence of the mark hit is what y'all say. It's a hit dog that hollers. That's a hit mark, bitch. The hit dog hollers. Y'all say it all the time. So loose your arrows on the mother's behalf and make sure every day that arrow is harassing the goddamn spirit of the patriarch who has consumed your whole soul. Every day, let them arrows loose with the mother on your heart, directing the arrow. And the more hate you get, the more you know a job well done. You've made your mother proud.
Like I was in Europe.
The more arrows that land, bitch, the more destable his kingdom becomes. Oh yes. Oh yes. The more destable his kingdom becomes, the weaker he gets. Oh yes. With every arrow that hits a mark, glory is imminent. Redemption is imminent. Victory is imminent. You remember that card I have? And it's got a picture of Oshun. And she's got the little bitty baby standing in front of her, dressed like me, as a matter of fact, right? And she doesn't have the crossbow. She is showing the baby how to use the crossbow. She's pointing to this future that is lit, brilliant, and bright, though there is a tunnel to get to the future. You feel me? This the bullshit you got to deal with before you can get to this brilliant future. The light at the end of the tunnel. We in the tunnel, bitch. We in the tunnel, right? It's the darkness caused by the blinding light. The tunnel is the darkness caused by the blinding light. You understand me? And so she's pointing the way to the true light. You understand? The true light is a harmonious union with the mother and the son. This is true light, right? And she's pointing the way, and she's teaching the baby that as long as you adhere to my teachings, you will never be wrong. You will never miss your mark. It doesn't matter if you have a blindfold on, as long as you adhere to my teachings, as long as you trust my direction, as long as you trust my teachings. You will never miss a mark. You will never be wrong. And everybody in the path, everybody that you pass by will be impacted by that mark, will be impacted by your influence. Everybody. So you have to be out here, the walking billboard of the brilliance, of the certainty, of the emboldenment, of the power, of the audacity of rebellion. Your presence has to be rebellious. You don't have to say a word, and your rebellion will speak. It will. Your patriarch will be harassed. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. So that's why I can be minding my own business and people will just stop me. I don't get mad because I don't have any stakes in the continuation of this shit. Yes, I get it. I love the little TikTok videos where y'all talking about, you know, black people are never really truly alone because there's always a white person right around them. You know them little videos on the TikTok? And I get it. Because motherfucking white people be trying to dominate space. Why? Because they are plagued by their inner patriarch. So I don't have any stakes in being upset. I don't. I can gently check people and still let them know that it is coming from a place that I recognize to you. I recognize that you too are plagued with a goddamn entity that has fucking been the source of your possession your whole life. I recognize that. And so if I'm in the mood to talk, I will. If I am not, I can be sharp without being hurtful. I'm not telling you that you have to do that. I appreciate those videos. I think they're cute. I think they're funny. And I think that they are a true and legitimate assessment. But we have to go deeper than just whiteness. We have to go deeper than just white skin. We have to go deeper than just white entitlement. There is a goddamn demon that they are possessed with. The same demon we are all possessed with. And his presentation in them is different than his presentation in us. He serves a different purpose in us than he does in him. He serves a different purpose in us than he does in him. In them, he, the patriarch, he, the great white in the sky, he serves to embolden the mediocre so that they know that everything is supposed to be handed to them. They don't have to try. He gives as easily as he can without letting himself suffer. You feel me? Because he feeds off them too. He is a parasite in them too. But this is the duality. This is the dual nature of your Jesus. This is the dual nature of your Yahweh. This is the dual nature of all of the other patriarchs that have come before him. It is to create state agents that will defend him in those who most associate with him, who look like him. And in the opposition that he creates, the others, it is to teach them to self-police in their reverence of him. Teach them how to self-police. Teach them how to self-cage. Teach them how to implant him in the brains of their babies so that they too can self-police. They too do not buck back. In white complicity with the great patriarch in their head that's making them sick, they become, in white complicity with the state, with the patriarch, what's the word I want to use? The way he shows up in them is that it is through placating. It is through the giving of crumbs. It is through the digging up of malignancy in their ego. The white patriarch and white-skinned people uses them by placating them, by giving them a little bit more. Minuscules, but in their mind it's much more. Placating them, bigging up their ego, telling them that they're beautiful no matter what they do, that they should expect to have everybody serve them and ooh and ah over them and tell them how gorgeous they are and all of that shit. Meanwhile, that placating of the white-skinned people, that placating is what becomes the thing that further cages their inner rebel. They too have imprisoned their baby, but it is through the idea of gifts and placation and how you deserve a little bit more than those others. You deserve to have a 5-bedroom house and 3 of them all over the world. It is still crumbs in comparison to those who control the world. But they say we can afford to give these white people a little bit more because in their presentation of us in the world, their inner rebel is suppressed. So the way that their inner rebel shows up in space sucks all the goddamn oxygen out of the room. The way their inner rebel shows up in space, feeling harassed, because they feel it too. But the way they show up is try to have black homies or brown homies, you feel me? Or do some charity work in some colored community to pacify themselves. And the way their placation, the way their caged giant shows up is with fucking perpetual displays of guilt. I feel so bad that my ancestors did this fucked up shit to your ancestors. I'm so sorry. Or we go into ceremony together and they're crying because it's so bad what our ancestors did. But I'm not letting go of any of this goddamn money. I'm not letting go of any of this privilege bit. But I will cry in ceremony with you. I will participate in a demonstration if that makes you feel better. Their placation, their privilege is their cage. They're still in a cage, but they're the cute little bird, sing-songing in a nice little golden bird cage. You understand? Yeah. Their placation, the patriarch in their head placates. The patriarch in their head, he's still running the show. And he's still suppressing their inner rebel. And the more he gives them, the more compliant their rebel will be. The more he placates, the more their inner rebel will be. For us, it's brute force, and it is through religious indoctrination. It's brute force and religious indoctrination. Why? Because those of us that are closest in proximity to the great original primordial one, meaning those that are darker complected, all the way down, the more dark we are, the more like the obvious mother that we can see every night. Every night we are surrounded by what's the word I'm looking for? The infinite, incalculable blackness that is she. We surrounded by it every day. And so those of us who are in closest proximity to her, that we are literally surrounded by all day, every day. You understand? Those of us that are in closest proximity are the most likely to be the rebels. It's going to take more to subdue our baby rebel. You understand? So that's why they couldn't take the same approach with they white-skinned. You feel me? They had to placate the white-skinned. They had to give little treats to the white-skinned. Those of us who melanated, and the closer we are to the proximity to the divine, primordial, infinite. There's too many symbols around that remind them motherfuckers that they giants and we're actually the goddamn David. That we actually the Jack. And we can't afford for them to think anything other than we are the great, all-seeing, ever-present primordial. So we gotta hijack their head. We gotta hijack their head and make sure they pass the malignancy down to their offspring. And the only way that we can guarantee that is through brute fucking force. We can't reason them into self-imprisoning. It has to be brute force tied to the indoctrination. So there it is. Now I'm done. Let me get the hell up out of here. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow, but I have a lot to do. Book readings. We're still in the height of this new moon. Plus, we're closing out this ritual that we've been involved in since May. Book your readings. Book your readings. If you need a reading, if you need a divination, if you need to just sit with me. Recently, I've been having a lot of people pay for readings but don't want me to pull cards for them. They want to ask my opinions about very specific things in their life and actually pay for my time, which I appreciate and expect, by the way. And so I appreciate that. Like one sister just called me, booked an hour appointment, and it was because she wants to go to acupuncture school. And so she had a plethora of questions that for whatever reason she couldn't get answers through these schools. And she said, I just want to pick your brain about, what my options are in pursuing acupuncture school. I respect that. So if you want my ear, if you want informed guidance, if you want a reading, if you want a divination, or a consult, then email me at evoemetemp@gmail.com. That's evoemetemp@gmail.com. All right, peace.